Today I'm going to show you how I made my DIY shiplap ceiling. It cost about a fifth of what it would if I were to buy it from the store.
Making our own shiplap ceiling. We're doing the best we can. Got all these half-inch plywood pieces ripped down to 8 inches. Shout out to Lowe's. So we put this dado blade in, and basically what that does, as you can see, it's basically 2 blades with a spacer in between to try to get a groove cut so that we're able to get a groove here and a groove here, and our shiplap will just lock right into place.
So here we are as we put it through the table saw. A couple adjustments we made on the table saw. One, it's only about a 1/4 of an inch up, so we get a 1/4 of an inch on both sides to lay over, so it lays flat since it's an inch thick piece. Against the fence we put a board, that way we could put our dado blade really flush up against that fence and not cut through the metal. And then just keeping downward pressure as we pulled it through the table saw.
It all is, this is what that blade did. Kind of cut a little notch out of it. Shiplap was going to be $2 a foot, so over $500. Got all this for $125 cut. So a little extra work, but I think it'll pay dividends. Shiplap is now being painted with basically primer that kind of gets all the knots out and any type of like paint or like stamp that was on the plywood gets kind of covered up. That can show through if you just paint it. So putting this heavy duty primer on.
So here we are installing the shiplap into the ceiling. It's nice. We used the bottom groove fitting into the top groove when we're putting it in, so it should be able to lock in place. I got a hammer with me to help influence it into that groove. I also found what worked nice for us was not nailing the board below all the way to the top until we get the next one in, then going back and putting finished nails into the top of that one.
So here's our shiplap finished on the wall. See it? Went pretty easy. Obviously we cut it here. Where this gap was, it was always on a stud. We could just use brad nails to attach it. 1 3/8" brad nails. Biggest thing when you're painting, we primed it on the ground. I think if you paint it on the ground, that might be a good idea as well, especially if your prime and your paint aren't very close, if they're different colors. The reason for that is it's very hard to paint in these cracks once it's installed. It can either be really messy or just impossible if you don't have the right brush. So a way to fix that is just make sure that entire groove gets painted as you're, before you install.